Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at 5.
Several parents and students peacefully gathered this afternoon at the Fargo Public School District office, demonstrating against the district's plan to temporarily move to distance learning next week due to COVID-19. School leaders announced earlier this month that both middle and high school students will make the switch from October 5th through the 19th. Elementary students' schedules will remain the same. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley spoke with the demonstrators and has our story.
It's not political, it's common sense. Let's get back to learning.
With less than 0.5% of Fargo Public's population infected with COVID-19, parents and students gathered outside the district office this afternoon say they don't understand why FPS students can't stay in the hybrid model, let alone go back to full-time in-person learning.
I feel like I learn the most when I'm in the classroom, actually in person.
Some kids just can't deal with having the computer in front of them as being their only option for education. There's so many other outlets at home that if parents aren't with them constantly, they're just not going to be able to stay focused.
I just think it's time they need to be back in school. I can't help them with their schoolwork. I mean, it's been years since physics, AP, English, chemistry.
I can't learn the systems of the body with true and false, so, it's really a struggle and it's really frustrating.
Many adding they feel like the district didn't take student or parent consideration seriously when surveys were sent out late this summer.
50% of parents wanted us to be in school. 50% of the parents have been ignored so far. And I think that's why you're starting to see what's happening here.
And with just 3 parents on the district's COVID-19 committee, parents say they feel like their children have been swept under the rug.
I think that it's very much skewed towards teachers and administrators, and I start to worry who's watching out for the kids.
Many parents echoing concerns about their children's mental health if things don't change soon.
Me too. I've had a lot more anxiety than it usually is. I have a hard time going to sleep sometimes.
Saying they hope today marks a new positive direction for Fargo Public School families. In downtown Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Parents tell us a public Zoom meeting is scheduled with Superintendent Rupat Gandhi tomorrow afternoon so parents can address their concerns and suggest alternative learning options for students. Here are the latest COVID-19 numbers in the area. North Dakota is reporting 260 new cases in the state, along with 3 new deaths. Overall, 234 people have died in the state. In Minnesota, there are 936 new reported cases, along with 7 new deaths. 2,015 people have died in the state. A cool start to our week, and now we're wondering how low we'll go overnight. Let's find out what's happening this evening. Hutch?
Andrea, thanks so much. Gray skies across the majority of our viewing area heading into the evening. We have had some passing showers, and a quick examination of wind gusts today show that air has been in a hurry, with gusts approaching 40 miles per hour in Cooperstown. A little bit of clearing showing up in northeast North Dakota and here in the eastern third of the state as we head into the evening hours. But it will be brief as you see more clouds moving out of parts of western Manitoba. How about 49 in Alexandria, Bemidji, 47 degrees, 10 degrees warmer out to the west. It's going to be a cool and breezy night, but once we get beyond sunset, the gusty nature of the winds should subside. Here and in Grand Forks, we'll be heading into the 40s by the time we head to bed tonight. Overnight, there's a chance of some passing showers of rain once again. The wind is in the forecast. We have a little bit of warmth to talk about, but mostly cold, Andrea, and we'll do that in detail here in just a few minutes.
It was brisk this morning.
It sure was.
Thanks, Hutch. Some people will need another place to stay after an apartment fire in South Fargo. It happened a little after noon today. Fire crews responded to the apartment building at 219 12th Street South, finding smoke on the 2nd and 3rd floors. They also found a small fire and heavy smoke in the kitchen of one of the units. Officials are still looking into the cause. An early morning house fire had several rescue crews scrambling in Belcourt, North Dakota. They got the call a little after 5:30 this morning to head to the northeastern part of the city. We're still waiting to hear the cause and get a damage estimate from the Rolette County Sheriff's Department. A man was arrested for a number of charges after an early morning police chase in Grand Forks. Police pulled over Sean Bjerke around 3:30 a.m. along University Avenue. They say he got out of his pickup initially, but then got back in and took off. Officers used a pit maneuver to stop him. He was arrested for reckless endangerment, DUI, driving under suspension, and drug possession. He was taken to the hospital after complaining of neck pain. We now know the name of a hunter found dead in central Minnesota. The Kandiyohi County Sheriff's Department says 56-year-old Alan Marcus from Wilmer, Minnesota, told family he was going hunting and then never returned. On Saturday, search crews found his body in the area where he had been hunting. Authorities say the death may have been caused by a medical condition. President Trump and his Democratic rival, Joe Biden, are preparing to square off in the first presidential debate tomorrow night at Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio. The Trump campaign launched a new ad questioning Biden's fitness. CBS's Skylar Henry is in Cleveland with a look at what's at stake in this first matchup.
I am looking very forward to the debate.
President Trump has both praised his Democratic opponent's debate experience and accused Joe Biden of taking performance-enhancing drugs.
No, I'm not joking. I mean, I'm willing to take a drug test. I think he should, too.
The Trump campaign released a new ad Monday suggesting Biden can't speak without a teleprompter. But former Second Lady Jill Biden said viewers will see a very clear distinction between the two candidates when they tune in tomorrow night.
When the American people see Joe Biden up there on that stage, they're going to see what a president looks like.
Some of the voters we spoke to here in Cleveland say they'll be paying attention to see which candidate speaks to their values and offers plans for the future.
I want to hear Trump's plan versus Biden's plan for our country.
I want to see women's rights talked about, LGBT community talked about. I want to see Black Lives Matter talked about.
Political experts say the debate is actually unlikely to sway undecided voters.
Those people at this point in the campaign are very few and far between. And so it's really trying to make sure that your base is going to turn out and support you on Election Day.
President Trump said he hasn't spent too much time getting ready, drilling flashcards and videos in between flights on Air Force One. And CBS News has learned Biden is doing both in-person and virtual preparation. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Cleveland, Ohio.
Former Vice President Biden is expected to go after President Trump's COVID response, while the president will highlight his record on the economy. The New York Times is reporting that President Donald Trump paid $750 in federal income taxes both the year he ran for president and his first year in the White House. The Times says it has obtained more than 2 decades of the president's tax return data, something he has fought to keep private. The report also finds the president paid no income taxes at all in 10 of the previous 15 years, largely because he reported losing much more money than he made. President Trump calls the report fake news. If you have an overdue book from the Fargo Public Library, you won't need to worry about paying a penalty when you bring it back. Staff say they're trying to make the library more accessible to people who may be put off by the fines. The new policy applies only to late fees. The library will continue charging people for lost or damaged items. Evidence from the Breonna Taylor case is leaking to the public. Up next, how it's raising questions about the investigation into her death.
Peak temperatures today shy of average by 10 degrees in Fargo. Grand Forks was pretty chilly too. I'll have details on some cool weather, some rain, and we'll talk about our updated chance of snow for some this week in just a moment.